Next up, our second contestant is Tere Noya of the Center for Economic Renewal, Growth and Excellence, Puerto Rico, pitching her project, Portraits of Prosperity, a Puerto Rican Perspective. Welcome, Tere.
Hi. Good evening. My name is Tere Noya, and tonight I want to talk to you about the power of images to shift mindsets and ignite change. I want to start off by asking you to raise your hands if you've ever Googled images. Right? Almost all of us, right? Now I want to ask you to raise your hands if you've ever Googled images of Puerto Rico. Some of you, huh? Maybe you were planning a vacation or trying to get tickets to the Bad Bunny concert or trying to find the lyrics to Despacito, right? We have all been there, right? So you've seen these images, right? Our Spanish castles, our greenery, our breathtaking beaches, our food, our culture, our warmth. But that does not tell the whole story. Recently, Puerto Rico has been riddled in financial crisis, devastation, and political turmoil. It has been a rough decade for us. And the American citizens who live on the island territory are running low on hope. At Centro Crece, we are banking on the power of images to uplift our people and invite them to envision a thriving and prosperous Puerto Rico, where hard work and entrepreneurship provide opportunities for future generations. We know that images are powerful. They unite us, and they show our very essence. With our project, we are using images to tell the stories of intrepid Puerto Rican entrepreneurs who are determined to build a future in Puerto Rico through their own agency and not moving to Florida. It happens. University and high school students will participate in a photography contest to illustrate the value of entrepreneurship in our communities. We will teach them about economic freedom as a path to prosperity, and will tell the stories of Puerto Ricans determined to build different paths away from dependency and on to self-reliance. Their works will be showcased in a public exhibit, in our social media, and in the press. An additional $25,000 would allow us to transform our exhibit from a stationary one to a traveling one, so we are able to reach people in urban and rural areas all over the island with images that invoke a mindset of hopeful transformation away from pessimistic dependency. Puerto Rican families are yearning for stories of hopeful transformation. They need to view the island as a platform for growth, so their children choose to stay there instead of moving to the mainland. Before I go, I want you to meet Emil. Emil is a smart and confident 11-year-old who chose to open his lemonade business with the help of one of our programs. His successful venture has injected his family and friends with hope for a prosperous Puerto Rico. Emil reminds us that success is contagious. We've all been Emil at some point in our lives. If he can do it, we can too. Please help us spread positivity by telling the stories of people who have chosen to move away from dependency and onto prosperity. And now, Sharks, I invite you to jump in the Puerto Rican waters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tere. Judges, let's commence our 5 minutes of questioning. Let's begin with Linda this time. Linda?
Terry, that
Yes.
was a lovely presentation.
Thank you.
It's quite a lot of money. Are these other people who win it, who are selected, are they going to get any prizes?
Yes, they are. They will compete for cash prizes, and they'll also get the incentives of building up their portfolios for either university or career professions and jobs, but they will get cash prizes. It is that type of competition.
Arturo?
In your presentation, I didn't see any money spent on social media. Are you going to have a social media attack?
Yes, we are going to have a social media attack, and our project includes the creation of a digital album of the works that will be promoted through social media, as well as through the exhibit.
Fred?
Do you really believe you can find 50 students who are supportive of entrepreneurship and who are also proficient in photography? And
Yes.
If not, what will you do to provide that proficiency?
That's a good question. We have an entrepreneurship education program whereby we have built very solid and good relationships with both public and private schools around the island. So we already have a network of schools that are very interested in providing this type of opportunity to students. And we think that it will be a great incentive for them to just use their cameras to capture these stories. I'm pretty sure that we can find 50.
Do you plan to have any training?
We're not providing any training. We are providing them with prompts and with a video tutorial on entrepreneurship and economic freedom. The prompts will allow them to go out and seek that value of entrepreneurship. We'll be very specific in explaining to them that it's not so much the picture of the guy in front of his food truck. It's the story behind that guy and that food truck that they need to capture. And what is the value added of that entrepreneur in their community? How have they contributed to making their communities better? So.
Thank you.
Any further questions, judges? Linda?
How are you going to judge the success or otherwise of the project?
Okay, yes, we are going to, one of the measurements is obviously participation. The other one is the amount of people that come visit our exhibit. And if we are able to make it a traveling one, we will take that exhibit to different points of the island so that more people are able to view it and visit it. We will have a visitor login to record the impressions of our visitors in their exhibits. What were they thinking? Have they ever thought about opening a business? And if so, can we help them connect them with startup organizations and people that can help them in that process? So that's really how we're going to measure the amount of people that not only visit us, but that stay in that relationship with us so that we can guide them through the process.
Any final quick questions from our judges?
Yes, could you give us a little bit of sense of what time framework are we talking about? How long will they have to create the exhibition And then how long will you be running around with the exhibition?
Okay, so we are talking about maybe the project will be about 6 to 8 months. We will have them work in the second semester of our school year. We would start contacting the schools now in February or January so that they are able to go out and get their pictures and all that kind of stuff before May, which is the end of the school year in Puerto Rico. And then we will use the summertime to have that traveling exhibit, have the inauguration exhibit where we announce the winners
And that's
of the
5
contest.
minutes, Terry. Sorry to be that guy, but
That's
thank you
okay.
so much for your time. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.